Please note, this session is being recorded.
Hey everybody, hey CRA Academy, for those of you live and for those watching on the replay, and as well, this one is going to go out on YouTube as well. Welcome to this bonus episode. We have Monica Catchery, one of our recent CRA Academy graduates from a few months ago. Matter of fact, she just joined me in California. When did you come to California, actually, Monica?
I was in California in last week of October.
October of
Yeah,
2019. So right now,
right.
anyone watching in the future, it is April 2020. So Monica recently did our program, did the internship, and then got hired. And she's going to share her story, how she did it, who she is, and she's presented very nice slides for you guys. So her contact info on LinkedIn will be in the links if anybody wants to reach out to her. And yeah, so let's get into it. Monica, thank you so much for coming on.
Sure, Dan. So I'll just start with my slides. I hope everybody is staying safe. So my name is Monica Khatri and I am a recent CRA Academy graduate. I started my course in July 2019 and I passed my academy in October 2019. And I have a background in physical therapy. I'm basically originally from India. I worked there for around 2.5 years in a hospital setting. Then I moved here, and right now I'm working as a clinical trial assistant for a CRO in New Jersey. And I would say that before joining the CRA Academy, I had zero experience in research. I wanted to go into this field because this field intrigues me a lot. So I was just wondering, I did not have any kind of experience in US, and neither do I had any experience in research. So I was just wondering what to do and how can I get into this field. So I just found out about Dance Academy, and I think that was one of the best decisions I have. I took at that time, and I did the internship right away. I finished my academy in October. I went to California in October, and I did the internship, and then I continued monitoring remotely. So basically, I was a student like you all before, and I wanted to share my experience and my journey with you all so that you can get motivated, and it will definitely help you to inspire at some point, because exactly I was a student like all of you before. So if it was difficult for me with zero experience, but this internship and academy really helped me a lot. So that was about me. Moving on to another slide. Yes, you must be wondering what's after CRA Academy once the classes get over. I would say don't consider the CRA Academy is over until and unless you get the job. Consider that this is also your one of the assignment of CRA Academy, that you have to find a job. Only after that your academy will be over. And this is and I would say while your classes are running, you need to be proactive, deciding and planning on how and where are you going to apply once your classes got finished. So I would say don't waste your time doing that after your classes are finished. Do it right now. This is what I did. During when my classes were going on, I used to make a list of all the CROs and clinical research sites near me where I wanted to apply. And this really helped me to save a lot of time after my classes got over. So this is the very important thing. You should make note of it right now. And another thing is, I would say, I know, right? Because of this situation, the COVID situation, you cannot go for a live internship in California, but at least you can start remote monitoring. So once this passes away, you can easily plan to go for your internship, but don't delay it for long, because your knowledge is fresh right now, and you are going to get a lot of from your internship. So try to do it. Try to schedule your internship as soon as you can. And yes, another thing, yeah, this is the very important thing according to me, because this internship really helped me to find a job. I would say this is a real monitoring experience, and you are getting a golden opportunity to monitor in a live environment. You are going to go to clinical research sites. You are going to see how regulatory binder and source documents look like. So this internship really did help me um, during my job interviews. If I share with you my experience of interviews, when I went for an interview, the interviewers, they did ask me about this internship. Like, their questions were what exactly this internship was about and what all I did. And they wanted to make sure that if I'm mentioning this, that I have written about internship. So they wanted to make sure that if I have done it in real environment or no. So they asked me some questions like who all did I meet at sites, and how many staff were present at that site, and what work did I do at site, how many staff, and they asked me, did you get a chance to look at regulatory binders and source documents? So this is how this internship, helped me to land a job, because this was what I experienced is viewers really liked this internship. They were very impressed, and they were impressed with another fact, that I flew to California for this internship. So that's why I'm saying, don't take this internship lightly. This is a very, very important thing, and once things get over, you should plan your internship as soon as you can. And this will really going to give you a lot of confidence when you're going out for those interviews. And okay, so I would share that what additional things I have done while I was looking for jobs. So I did volunteer into the clinical research department in the hospital near to my house, because I was gaining a very valuable experience with internship, but I also wanted to utilize my time. As I told you before, I did not have any experience. I did not have any job before that, so I had time to go out and do the volunteering. So fortunately, got an opportunity to volunteer in oncology department in the hospital in New Jersey. So this volunteering and internships, these two things were the highlight in my resume. And they did interviewers did ask me about both of the things, that what work I did in internship, what work I did in volunteering. So you can also do it. You can also volunteer in hospitals. You're going to learn so much via volunteering too. You can always assist us. Like, I used to assist them in their payments and receipts. So that was a good experience to me. And yeah, this way you can land a foot into door. Yeah, moving on to another slides. Yeah, this is the most important thing, how to search for a job. You must be thinking that everyone knows how to search for jobs, like going on to Glassdoor or Indeed, LinkedIn, just clicking on apply and then waiting for weeks to hear something from recruiters or HR managers. Yeah, of course, that's one of the strategy. But I would say, if you want to stand out, you have to think out of the box, and you have to be creative in your job search. I will share what I did. What I used to do was, I used to go on clinicaltrials.gov website. When you open that website, you will always find options to enter studies. So it's basically up to you. If you want to work for any particular therapeutic area, you can just type in therapeutic area. For example, if you want to work for oncology studies, you can just type in oncology and click search. You'll find ample of studies going on over oncology. So, and when you scroll down, you'll find a section there, contacts and locations, and you'll find email addresses written over there. Sometimes it's for study coordinator or PI itself. So I think that's the best approach to find jobs. Just reach out to that email address with your resume and cover letter, and composing a nice and small email expressing your interest into clinical research. So I think that's a very good strategy, and that works. This is what I used to do. I used to apply for jobs, like number of jobs. by going on clinicaltrials.gov, and are usually good. They won't say anything to you, and they sometimes they do encourage your effort that you have reached out to them, and they may answer you that they don't have any position for any intern or volunteer. But they do, that's not the that there's no harm in applying via this method. And another thing is, you obviously should apply on Indeed and Google Glassdoor. I want to while applying on Indeed, if you have already noticed that on Indeed, in front of some job postings, there is always for basically for some job postings they show they mention responsive employer next to that job posting. I would say do apply for that job, and try to find, after applying, try to find out the company over Google, and try to find out some contacts. If you while browsing over the company, you will definitely find out some contact information written over there. It may be of CEO or president of that company. Don't hesitate to email that person too, along with applying on Indeed, because it will, when I applied for my job, in which job I'm currently working, I did the same thing. I applied on Indeed, and then I emailed the president. I found president's email address on the website. I emailed him, and I just sent him my resume and cover letter, and he immediately responded me back to schedule an interview, and I got a chance to interview them the very next day, and it was very good, and I got hired. So I believe this is one of the another best strategy to apply for jobs. And of course, networking on LinkedIn. Don't just send connection requests. Do interact with people, not always asking for jobs, but you can always interact with them, asking about like how was their experience and how did they land a job into clinical research. And because you sometimes you get motivated listening to their stories. This is what I used to do. That's why I'm sharing everything with you. So it's a way to keep to be motivated during this job search period. So yeah, these are the few strategies which you can use. And as I mentioned before, while your classes are running on, you can always go on Google and make a list of all the CROs and clinical research sites near you, and you can always find contact informations mentioned on their websites, and you can always reach them out. There is no harm in doing that. Okay. Uh, the next slide is about how to prepare for interviews. So, of course, this is the best platform you're getting to learn about CRA, what clinical research is, what documents are used in clinical research, what terminologies are used in clinical research. So, according to my interview experience, they do ask about particular documents, like if you are familiar with 1572, what FDF is, and what CFR and what ECRF is. So this is the best time to develop a fluency in these terminologies, and by the end of your course, these terminologies should be on your tips. So utilize this time well and learn about all these terminologies. Don't delay this, and don't think that once you get the interview offer or interview call, only after you review all these, because at that time you'll have no time to prepare for all these things. Because an interview, this is the most important thing they do ask about, the terminologies, the terms they use in clinical research, because that will be, of course, your work. And then whatever you are mentioning in resume, make sure you have scenarios and examples ready for that, because they do ask, as I mentioned before, that they did ask me if I'm mentioning that I shadowed CRAs. They did ask me who the CRA was, and they did ask me what all work did you do while shadowing the CRA. So make sure whatever you are mentioning, you have examples and scenarios ready for that particular thing. And while you are on your internship, or if you are monitoring remotely, make sure to take notes of all the outstanding things you are learning, because that will make a difference. Once you go for an interview, you will get to know that it's good that you paid attention in your classes, because of course they will ask you behavioral questions, but these are another important questions they ask. So make sure to take good notes when you are on internship, because you are going to learn lots of different things while you're on internship. And another important thing, don't lie on your resume, because it is not a right thing. Of course you are responsible directly for patient safety, so don't lie. You'll get hired by lying on your resume right away, but you'll have problem afterwards. So it's not a good idea, it's never a good idea. And try to make all your concepts clear while you are studying. While you are a student, you're not going to get any chance once the academy gets over. Okay, I'll move on to next slide. Yeah, another important point, dealing with rejections, because you are going to get lots of no's before getting hired. I used to get rejections, like if I'm applying for 10 jobs today, and I'll get an email tomorrow morning that I got rejected for this particular job. But my approach was not to waste whole day crying over that one rejection and forgetting about my daily task of applying jobs. So this is the most important thing you have to keep in your mind. uh, Getting rejections is a part of everybody's job hunt. This is not for only clinical research professionals, this is for everyone else out there. So this is not only for you or only for me, this is for everybody else. Just be ready to apply for multiple jobs. You cannot waste your whole day crying over that one rejection, because you have, if you see, and if you are seeing, noticing right now, there are lots of jobs out there, and every you are, if you keep applying for jobs, you'll get to see, yeah, you'll get notifications on regular basis that new job has been posted. You should keep applying instead of just wasting time on these things, or crying, or wasting your whole day, ruining your whole day thinking about those rejection. You think, and don't ever doubt yourself that you are not good enough, that's why you didn't get job. You are good enough. Think like that. There is something, some another good position is waiting for you. So keep searching for that position. As Dan always say, that wait for that one yes out of 200 no's. You have to wait for this that one yes out of 200 no's, and maintain your enthusiasm, maintain your sanity. Try to talk to different people, try to connect on LinkedIn, try to talk to people on LinkedIn, asking their experience. Try to connect to your classmates and um, asking their experience and how they are doing, how they are applying. Sometimes interacting with each other, you get lots of ideas which you do not have in your mind initially. So it's not a rocket science. Applying for a job and getting a job is not a rocket science. If I can do it, so can you. So it's just a matter of time, being persistent and consistent in your efforts, and applying constantly without worrying about rejection. It will just take a while and you'll get through it, believe me. Okay, next slide will be about what all position you can apply for. I would say don't think that you only have to apply for CRA jobs. If you don't have any initial experience in clinical research, be open to apply for all these positions. These are some of, like, few positions I have mentioned here. There are plethora of positions into clinical research. You can always search online, and these all positions are direct pathway to become a CRA. Your main goal right now should be to get your foot into the door. Once you enter this into the industry, nobody can stop you for being from being a CRA. Just have a goal that you want to land a position in this field, and then you'll see how it works. Okay, that's what all I had. You can ask me if you have any questions.
I'll ask, and then you can also chat if you want to ask questions in the chat. So, what I know we did an interview, but what position did we actually get, and what kind of positions did you apply for? Because one of the biggest questions I get from people is, "Hey, what is this position?" And they'll like name something random
Mhm.
that could mean anything. I mean, so I always say, job titles don't matter. Job
Right,
description does. Um,
exactly.
so what kind of positions did you actually apply for, and what did you end up getting?
So basically, I applied for lots of positions like clinical trial assistant, clinical research coordinators, study coordinator, or even for intern positions. And I did apply for CRA and in-house CRA positions, but I got to know that landing a CRA position in the beginning with zero experience is difficult. And as you said, that job titles don't matter, the job description does matter. So right now, I have a clinical trial assistant position. So the kind of work I'm doing, it's not related to patient interaction. It's all related to feasibility, TMF. Basically, what I discovered is it is all related to pathway to become a CRA, I would say. So I there are lots of, as you said, there are lots of position. Like if you're working as a clinical trial assistant, and in two companies there is a position of clinical trial assistant. So the job descriptions may vary in both of these positions. So this is right that you should never look into the job title. You can always look into what the job description says, so you can apply accordingly. I did apply for lots of, in regulatory I applied for positions because that is also a good area to work into. My goal was to get a position so that I can directly make a bridge to become a CRA. So I'm happy that I'm doing that right now.
Yes, thank you. And then anybody who wants to reach out to Monica, her LinkedIn will be underneath this video. One more question, Monica, I had.
Sure.
So, another question I get a lot, which I don't really know how to answer,
Mhm.
and I don't know what your particular situation was, but with in regards to immigrations and visas and work permits and things like that, can you
Mhm.
kind of shed some light on that? Because there are a lot of people that reach out to me, and I don't actually have good answers because I have no experience with this.
Right. So for immigration, there are different categories of visa, I would say. So it depends basically what visa you are on. So sometimes it varies if you are on student visa. So right now, um, it is getting a little bit difficult, and for basically for H1B, it is also getting a little bit difficult, but it's not impossible. Some of the companies, some of the places do not prefer to get people if you are on a visa, but not all. It's
Mhm.
I would say it's only for larger firms. It's only for bigger firms. So that's why it is good to apply for smaller firms, smaller companies right now, because for them visa and all these things are not the first priority. So it varies from company to company, and like there are lots of different categories of visa, so it varies with each visa type. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, good. Anyone else? Any questions? Otherwise, we want to thank you very much, Monica, for doing this bonus session, and it's going to inspire a lot of students. And we did an entire interview with you on your
Yeah.
story. So we will follow up in the future and see how things progress with you, and you'll probably have a lot of people reaching out as well because your
Yeah.
story is a very good one and very inspirational one. So, thank you so much for taking the time to come on,
Thank you,
and
Dan.
make sure you stay healthy and keep me posted with how things are going. Okay,
Sure, Dan. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and you too. Take care.
thank you guys.